After that, graphical presentation, even if you're writing an email or if you're using or communicating a report. So obviously graphical presentation will be a better one. Why? Because graphical presentation or visual aids will make it very easy to communicate big data or a complex data. If data is highly technical, huge in volume, or highly complex, then visual aids will be necessary. So charts and graphs will be a better option to use. After that, what can be the example how we can present the data graphically? One can be tables. We already have seen in MA1 how basically we can use tables to manipulate the data or filter or sort the data. After that, column or bar charts, pie charts, line graphs, scatter diagram, all these we already have seen in the course of MA1. So we can use all these options so we can communicate our information graphically, especially when there is a big data or a complex data. Clear with this thing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. After that, 27, which of the following is true about a line graph? So line graph is a graph that basically we're going to show some kind of trend through line, something like this. So give it a try.
C, sir.
See, there is not necessarily a dependent variable. Remember when we talk about the line graph, first of all, something like this. So on x-axis, it's compulsory to show the independent variable. This is compulsory. The independent variable will come on the x-axis. Y-axis, this is the y-axis, it should always be dependent variable. Why? Because when user will see the line graph, so he should know that whatever is on x-axis is independent, whatever variable is on y-axis, it's dependent. This is compulsory to show. So option A, the independent variable is always shown on y-axis. No, that is the dependent variable. B, the independent variable is always shown on x-axis. This is true. C, there is not necessarily a dependent variable. This is why, because in line graph, it's equal for bar chart and column charts as well. One should be independent and the other one should be dependent. So this is not true. D, it does not matter on which axis variable is shown. No, it will always make it easier for the user to identify which axis or which variable is independent by looking on x-axis, and to identify the dependent variable, he always look for the y-axis. So B is the correct one. Clear with this thing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then confidentiality. About the confidentiality of the data, there is in UK, there is a complete law with the name of Data Protection Act 1998. And what is the terms and conditions of Data Protection Act? First, they identify some key terms in the act. First of all, personal data. If I'm giving some of my personal information to someone, so all that information will be considered as a personal data. What can be the personal data? My first name and last name, maybe my age. Then after that, my contact information, my address, my income level, if I'm providing this information. So all these piece of data will be considered as a personal data. So personal data is any data of a living person, or any detail or personal details of a living person. Then data users. Data users are the one, sometimes they also collect the data, they process the data, and they are the one that they will benefit from that data. So they are what we call data users. Sometimes data processors can be different as well. Data processors collect the data and process the data only, but they do not get any benefit from it. They process it on behalf of other parties. Data users are the one, sometimes they also collect and process their own data, but they will benefit from that data. After that, data subject is that living person that this data belongs to. And last, right of the data subject. So this data subject, when he's providing some information to the data user, so he does have some rights as well. Basic right is access to the information that he can ask access to his own data that he provided to the data user. He can check whether that data is up to date or not. He can request any sort of modifications in the data as well. So all these are the right of the data subject. Clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Question 28. Which of the following is the correct definition of a data subject? So give it a try. So which of the following is the correct definition of a data subject? Who is data subject, Sarah?
D.
D. Let's discuss this. It's correct one, by the way. It's good. An individual who is the subject of personal data. That's right. This is what we called data subject. The one who is providing the data to the other party. And that data belongs to that person, of course. Okay, what is A? An organization that controls personal data. This is what? This will be considered as a data user or data processor, even better, because he's controlling the data. Or B, an individual who collects and uses the personal data and get the benefit. This is also called data user. And information about a living individual. This is just an information. This is not a data at all, because data is unprocessed form. And when we process it, it becomes information. And the last, an individual who is the subject of a personal data. So yes, that will be considered as a data subject. Clear with this thing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Question 29. Which of the options below does not describe the following report? Here, an extract of a report is given, and you need to see out of these 4 options, which option does not belong to the following report. So give it a try. Yes, Sarah. Which option is correct?
B.
B. Okay, let's see that what is happening in the report. The report is written by the management consultants for the board of directors, and status is confidential, and the date of writing report is 3rd November. And what is this report all about? An investigation was commissioned on 7th October by board, and then these management consultants were asked to consider the current applicability of the company policy manual and then propose changes that is needed. So number 1, the report considers the future application of the company's policy manual. Yes, as they are proposed changes, as they are proposing some changes, this will definitely
Not is right. Sorry.
Yeah.
You're right. I just did not read the not for part. The first, second, and third is correct. B is the answer.
Yeah, that's why I highlighted this. A, B, and C, all 3 are correct. D is the one that does not presented in the report. The report considers unnecessary changes that were made to the policy manual, not unnecessary, but necessary changes. So D is the, as per the report, it's incorrect. As per the question, is correct. Clear with this thing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And A, B, C, all these 3 information already presented in this report. So here we have completed chapter number 6. Do you have any questions so far?
No, sir.